Hi friends, welcome back to Mimi's Home and Garden. This is the third in the series of Costco haul, and this time I went to Costco and picked up some bulk vegetables to dehydrate. I picked up a pack of mushrooms, some carrots, and some peppers. But if you look around your Costco, these big items in bulk all can pretty much be dehydrated. So these peppers, this is not the kind I was looking for, but I did find some bell peppers. The celery is very easy to dehydrate and use in soups and stews. I really wanted the whole celery stalk. These are just sticks. The big bag of carrots I bought was like $5.99, and here are the peppers I was looking for, the bell peppers. So I made my purchases and I'm on the way home to get busy dehydrating. Here is the 6-pound bag of organic carrots. They were like $5.99 at my Costco. So the first step is to peel and get these ready to chop up and dehydrate. Always use a peeler, it's so much faster than a knife. But I cut off both ends, and then I carefully just took my vegetable peeler, saved those carrot strips for my chickens. They love them. And then I cut them up into bite-sized chunks that you would have in soup or stews. I use this in my vegetable beef soup or my Brunswick stew, or if I'm fixing a big crock pot roast, I'll toss these in there. They're very good. Now with carrots, you have to blanch. That is to run them through boiling water for about 5 minutes before you dehydrate. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in my salad spinner and give them a good wash now that they've been peeled and chopped. If you don't have a salad spinner, you really need one. These are so great for not just salad, but for all vegetables and fruits. Getting them a good wash. And you just run it through the spin cycle. I did this with the whole 6-pound bag of carrots, and then let it come to a stop and rinse it one more time. When you take it out, you can see in the water all the debris and dirt that was on the vegetables. So I poured that off and gave it one more rinse, and then I have a pot of boiling water on the stove ready to go to blanch these beautiful carrots. Here is my pot of water boiling. I'm going to pour in the whole bowl of carrots, and once it returns to a boil, I'll set my timer for exactly 5 minutes. You don't want to go over that because you really don't want to cook these, you're just blanching them. So that is the process for carrots. You don't have to do this with mushrooms or the bell peppers. You don't need to blanch those. So now I'm taking them up out of the boiling water. And in the sink I already have my dehydrator trays ready in the sink to accept these carrots. So I'm draining off all that hot water. And I'll go over to my sink and pour these out on the dehydrator tray. And then run some cold water over them so I can handle them. And then I spread these out very carefully all over the tray. It took 3 trays for this 6-pound bag of carrots. I have a 10-tray dehydrator, so I only needed 3 trays for this. Just spread them out a little bit, run some cool water over them to cool them down, shake off the excess water. Now it's recommended in my dehydrator book to put some lemon juice in a spray bottle and spray over the carrots to keep them from browning. It needs that citric acid that's in the lemon juice. So I keep a spray bottle in my refrigerator of lemon juice to use when dehydrating this type of vegetable. You could also use that on dehydrating apples. So here is my dehydrator over on another counter, and I'm loading up the carrots. It's already set at 125, and I'm going to dehydrate for 12 hours. So I have 3 trays of carrots, and I'm on to the next thing, which is the big box of mushrooms that I've purchased. So you take your mushrooms, and it's not a good idea to wash them. They turn gray in the dehydrator if you wash them. So I just take a clean wet paper towel and just wipe off the mushrooms. A little bit of dirt, compost that's on the mushroom, just wipe those off. And then all you have to do is get them cleaned off and then slice. So I did this with the whole tub of mushrooms, and I spread them out on the dehydrator tray. Now I like to use these when I'm doing roast. Also sprinkle these in the crock pot and add in a roast, some cans of cream of mushroom or cream of chicken or whatever soup. And then here are the bell peppers. I'm going to cut these in half and seed and take out the stems. Run those through the salad spinner and clean those good. Very easy. You don't have to blanch these either, so this was a quick process. And I love these colors. They're so pretty in food. They dehydrate very easily, and then they rehydrate. Use these in your favorite recipes. Always check the bag at Costco. They have a date that this was picked in the field, stamped on all their produce. And I always try to go through the bins and find the earliest or the latest that it has been picked. So all the bell peppers have been cut into strips, and I'm shaking off the excess water, and then I will place these on the dehydrator trays as well. So I ended up with 3 trays of mushrooms, 3 trays of bell peppers, and 3 trays of carrots. So now my dehydrator is full, and I will go ahead and set this for 12 hours, and then I'll show you what they look like once they're dehydrated. Much smaller, and you can fit them into a smaller size jar. In they go, and about every 2 or 3 hours I will go in, open this up, and turn each tray one time so that they're evenly getting that warm, dry air that's at the back of the dehydrator. I'll check it again in the morning. If it needs a little additional time, I will set it for an hour or 2 more if it's not quite dry enough. There are the peppers. See how much they have shrunk up? They're nice and crunchy. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in a pint-size jar, and I will be able to get all of those bell peppers into one jar. Now you wouldn't use that whole jar in a recipe. You only have to use a small amount, because you've got to remember these are going to rehydrate back to their regular size. So this is a good way to buy things in bulk, especially if you don't have a garden and you want to pack your pantry with some really good foods to put in recipes. This is a good way to do it. Doesn't take up a lot of space, and you can get a lot of food packed away by doing this in bulk and buying your items from Costco or Sam's. There are the mushrooms. They're just as good when they're rehydrated. They have the same flavor. They haven't lost any of their flavor. They're still just as good. This is really good in chicken Alfredo. Toss a few of these in your crock pot with some chicken. Just delicious. They will stay in your pantry for a long time, especially if you use a food saver and seal the jar, or put an oxygen absorber in with the mushrooms or whatever vegetable you have. So I was able to get all of those mushrooms into one pint-sized jar. And put a lid on that. And then lastly were the carrots, and they have really shrunk down in size, but they will very easily rehydrate when I put those in my soup recipes or stew beef recipes. But you always have to remember not to pour the whole jar in, because then you will have 6 pounds of carrots. I hope you learned something from this, that you can get a dehydrator and buy food in bulk and make it fit your needs for your family. So I have onions, I have canned potatoes, and now I have mushrooms, carrots, and peppers all ready to go in the pantry. My grandkids were fussing at me because I don't show my face in these videos. I've got to try to do that a little better. So, from my house to your house, thanks for joining me, and have a blessed day.